Hurry up. How are we going?
We're on the intro screen. They can hear us.
They can hear us?
They can hear us. They can't see us. We're sneaky private.
That'll teach you.
Super step. Secret squirrel. But then if I go,
Take me over any countries today.
if I hit that button, now they can see us.
Hi, everybody.
But I don't think there's
Okay,
everybody
it's
out
in
there.
I went over to Facebook and told them we were live. So we'll see. Loyalty, man. Loyalty.
I didn't see Dylan come up, so
Yeah, but wasn't he thinking about going live?
yeah, I thought he said he was going to go
He might be
live.
making phone calls.
He never sent me the link. Every time he wants me to go live, you gotta send me that link. And if he sends you a link to go to whatever he uses, whatever,
Rumble.
you
Yeah,
gotta
Rumble.
look at the link before you click on it. You gotta take off the last few letters because it'll give you a doesn't exist every time.
I didn't have that problem. I went straight to the channel.
Yeah, no, every time him and when Chuck tried that other site one night, it did that to me. When he sent the link, it tacked on a couple letters at the end.
Why do they want to do that? Bastards.
So, I mean, I don't know the rules about YouTube and smoking dope and all that, but it's no secret that Jim's a stoner. So, excuse me, folks, if you get offended, and anybody who watches this.
You're doing it scientifically, my friend.
Hey, there's Eric.
Hey, Eric.
We may not have a lot of viewers, but we got the best viewers.
You know it. You know, so I can get my shit together here. There you go.
Well, there's Cheryl. God love you, Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl. Yeah. Now, where was we?
I don't know. I was saying sorry if I'm getting high and I offend people, but it's only Eric and Cheryl so far, and they're pretty sure they're cool. Oh, we were talking about that fungus growing in your lungs.
See if I can pull that back up.
Hang on. If you're going to share the screen, I got to press a button.
Okay. Well,
There you
it's
go.
gonna
Share
take
your
me a
screen.
minute. Wish I could just go right back.
Well, wishing one hand, shit in the other. Tell me which one fills up quicker. And just deal with it.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, sir.
Anyway.
I didn't mean to be so curt with you.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
You're prim and proper to get like. So if y'all remember a little while back, I guess it was November, back around Thanksgiving, that real funny fog
Yeah, right around Thanksgiving.
off the ocean. Yeah. Well, somebody had taken some plastic they had draped over some of their plants outside and rushed them off to the health ranger to get him to look at it under the microscope. And we were talking about it. Damn, it's back a long ways.
Funny
I
fog
tried
bad.
to say it was normal fog that come in, yeah.
Funny fog bad. What's that?
Where'd that go?
The duck show? Oh, that's George and Larry.
Make me do it the hard way. critters stalking.
Well, the male duck's back, and one of the fat squirrels. Miss Cheryl says hi, Kelly.
Hi.
Okay,
Okay,
let's
you
read.
ready?
Yeah, I got it.
Well, these people have been waiting so patiently.
Yeah, well, anyway, they got them in there and they got them under the microscope. And this is what they were first finding. Looked like double legs or some kind of berries or something. And they kept them in a dark, warm area, kind of like a human lung, what the inside temperature would be. And this is what it's grown into. It's
So,
kind of like a fern.
so does that mean we should snort like Roundup or something?
Well, I don't know. You can drink Roundup.
Yeah, but if you drink it, it's not going to go in your lungs. You got to snort that shit. You got to inhale it.
Maybe you could vape it.
Let's. Oh no, guys! No, no, no,
You
no,
gotta
no,
fire. No,
no.
we're kidding.
Anybody that
Nobody do
listens to
that.
this, no, don't, please, don't be a dumbass.
I just found that rather odd.
I don't find it odd. I really don't. With
Yeah, but
now, with let alone what the government's capable of doing to you. How about these private organizations? How about the other Faucis out there that we don't know about?
yeah. Well, how long Bill Gates been releasing mosquitoes and shit on the
Exactly.
coasts?
What has Soros got
No,
going on we don't know about?
damn little critters.
I guess we ought to be lucky we ain't sprouted a tail and started talking backwards, you know?
We were just on the verge of having the flying lounge chair, like in Wally.
Yeah. I
We
watched
almost
Mythbusters
achieved.
tie balloons to a lounge chair until it floated with a person. It was kind of cool, but it was like an ungodly amount of balloons. It wasn't, practical.
Yeah, it never worked anyways.
And then one
Now
little
it
punk with
seemed,
a BB gun bring all your plans to a crashing halt.
yeah. Now they're running out there like the old rope swing out above the river.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing that off the side of balloons and parachuting and shit. Some are
Now
flipping all the
that
way
sounds
out to get.
fun. If you're gonna parachute, it's well. Now I guess the swings, because I was watching some of those swings like over in the canyons where you start on one side and that swing drops you, and then all of a sudden you just swing, and then because you come back and they recover you, you never actually fall. Well, I guess you fall, but you never actually leave the rope.
Yeah,
I don't know. I would come down a rope. If you put me off any height with a rope tied to my ass, I'll go down that rope. Ladders, not so much. I never did try a parachute. I know the fundamentals of it, but I don't never did get to do it.
what if we got you a box
Oh, that would
like
be
them
cool.
beavers,
I'm willing to try.
a beaver box?
Yeah, I'm willing to try.
And we get some of that, uh, some of the packing peanuts. Just load them in there with you.
Okay.
We'd have a hole cut in it somewhere. That way you can breathe.
I need a pee jug. I pee a lot.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll leave that up to you, buddy.
Yeah, no, I always thought I'd like to try parachuting.
Yeah. But it's that first few jumps where you got to have somebody on your back jumping with you.
Yeah,
That makes it more like driver's ed, don't it?
kinda. Yeah. But yeah, no, I never got the opportunity. But rappelling, I like rappelling. With me and the wife used to do it with some friends of ours. Just some little clips up on the river.
Yeah.
But I did get to jump out of a helicopter once, and that was fun.
Did you do it in the water?
Not in the water, no, over land. I did go face first into the tower the first time I did the Australian. Where you walk
Cool.
down, you walk face first down the face,
Yeah.
and oh man, if your feet get ahead of you or behind you, you're done. And yeah, splat. It took me 2 or 3 times to master that one. Then I never quite mastered it. I just didn't fall flat face first at the end, and that was qualified to pass.
Yeah.
But free fall, that's where it's at. That's a hoop. As long as you got a good set of gloves, yeah.
It's something about that zero G spot. You know, going over a hill 100 miles an hour. You're in the
Yeah,
back seat. You get that.
just that one. Yeah, I always thought it'd be fun to ride the Vomit Comet too. Just go up there. I wouldn't even know where to begin to get a scene on one of those planes.
No, the weirdest one I ran across today was the old boy in a wheelchair wanting to go bungee.
Well, it's not like he's gonna have a catastrophic, crippling accident.
Well, maybe.
Might straighten his ass out. Smack a rock. Hey, I can feel my legs. Smack a rock again. Shit. Oh, no, that's cruel. Come on. I can't get on the bus to hell. They still have the warrant against me.
I thought you were the navigator.
I was, but they found out. They checked my passport. They said, we still got protection orders against you.
Hey, when that happens.
Something about I bring down property values or something. Even hell's got standards. I don't know. It was in the form letter.
A sternly worded form letter.
Sternly worded form letter, because it was after a massive dab. So take it for what it is.
Because when it crawled out of the envelope, it really freaked me out.
I'm sure it was the devil, but
So I had him a little vandal up there at Trump Tower in New York and decided to spray USA across the big badge on the wall. Then he sat down. It's saving the planet, man.
saving the planet by spray
Yeah.
painting USA on a building owned by a man who does nothing but eat shit and breathe fucking USA.
Yes. And don't forget, he needed that petroleum based paint.
Yeah, well, I'm getting sick of the petroleum shit too. We got oil, we're using oil. Fuck you.
Yep. And it's ours. And it's good.
Well, that's like, go ahead, buy a little 4 cylinders, buy a little electric cars. I got an 8 cylinder. I'm willing to pay the extra money it costs to run that car. I don't care about my carbon footprint. I've got power. I've got safety. That's it. That's my choice.
Yep. Oh, shit. That new head of the World Economic Forum, he's the old boy from Nestle's that's decided that water should be a privilege.
Nope. I've heard this shit
Everybody
too.
getting it.
Just like free air. Free air.
Yeah, there was a time, and I thought it was a joke at the time because I was a little younger. But then it came back around a few years ago. They wanted to
Hmm.
tax us for the water runoff from your roof and
Yeah,
any paved or concreted surface. They would do a calculation how many square feet, and each storm you would get a bill, a tax bill for the runoff from your roof and your driveway.
man. Well, how do those meetings go where they come up with this
I
stupid
I
shit?
would love to know, brother. I want to be in one of them.
You
I
know,
call it
because
the
you know,
retarded nephew syndrome. Because somebody has a retarded nephew that needs a job, and they say, "Come on up with an idea.
uh,
Give us an idea, we'll run with it."
yeah. Well, they got that idea out in California when they were buying up the aquifers of the people right out from under them and shit for their almonds.
Yep. And making that almond milk.
You know, there was big wars going on over the what is that river they put the Hoover Dam,
Colorado.
Colorado River. They used to fight over that, and they finally come up with an agreement. They thought that no state upstream would be able to cut off the people from downstream getting their water.
I thought that was in a land usage thing or something. I thought you weren't allowed to mess with water systems.
Oh, that was part of the agreement they had come up with the states because if you notice, every state along the East Coast, every state touches the water,
Right.
Yep.
some kind of waterway.
Yeah, or a major waterway's a border, or yeah.
Yep.
But no, it's I thought, well, never mind. Common sense again. I just thought there was land usage. There was, like if I diverted some water, not divert the whole stream, but if I made an irrigation system, that's mine. But I can't block the river. I can only draw from it.
Right.
Hi, Steve. It's Six Pack.
Hey, Steve. Hey, Nick.
Hey, Phyllis, how's it going?
But I mean, we always followed that. You never fucked with a brook or a river because you never know whose house. Because
Yeah.
back when I was a kid, we still had people drawing from brooks and wells and
Yeah. Well, this is like the land here in Oklahoma, They were real strong on their boundaries, which basically cut down on the Chisholm Trail
yeah.
when they were transferring beef up to Kansas City still.
Huh. I think you were telling me that story.
I run up old Highway 81 out west of here.
Now, see, I like that shit. I find that fascinating. Running cattle through state. We're talking days, weeks on the trail.
Yeah, I think it's like a week-long run they do.
Yeah.
And
Well, some of
yeah,
them runs though. I mean, you come down from Montana down to Texas. That's that's quite a feat. Storms
and then came the trains.
and then the trains. You're right. The Iron Horse changed it all. That was the true defeat of the Indians too.
Well, they were kind of in on it. They helped themselves to it.
Yeah, but that was the true defeat because once that artery was opened up with the railroad, there was no stopping the white
Yeah.
man. You thought we were dangerous on wagons. Now we got I can get back. I can get to California in days now, not months.
The only thing that really sticks out in my head, it was totally fucking egregious, was the buffalo hunt.
Yep.
You seen the pictures of them stacked up.
But it goes right along with mankind in general. That's the way we started. And that's the way we progress. Well, actually, that's not the way we started. We started hunter gatherer, took what we needed. But It progressed with the greed. We need more. We need more. We need more. But I only want this part. But I don't care about the rest. I don't care that you can use it. I don't need it. It's staying in the prairie.
Six pack just
Yeah.
sits open at OPW.
Yeah, but that Volkswagen mile per gallon thing was they were faking that.
Yeah.
And Nick was saying, talking about carbon footprints, Volkswagen was getting 40, 50 miles a gallon. Why'd they shut them down? Because
Oh,
Volkswagen was lying about it.
well, no, the real reason was, oh crap, pardon me.
Uh oh. Everybody be quiet. Maybe she'll let JT stay out and play. But yeah, no, I agree with you, Nick. There should be advances made. We should have 50-mile to the gallon engines, but not for me.
Yep. Back in the 70s, there was two guys that had 100 mile a gallon cars. They just mysteriously
Yeah,
disappeared. Then there was the guy that made the car engine that ran off water. Mm, he just disappeared.
yeah.
Funny how that works.
No, he wasn't. He shot in a grocery store accident.
Now that the last one was, he was up there helping with his buddy that had a store during the Black Lives Matter riots. He was a retired security guard.
I know one of them got killed in a grocery store robbery or something.
And that's what it was. He was up there trying to help his friend.
Plausible,
But
but unprobable.
plausible deniability.
Sounds pretty stupid.
But who would you actually trust with something like that?
Oh.
Toyota's done the hydrogen and the electric,
Yeah.
and they're pretty much on the innovative edge of that shit.
I think hydrogen ought to be pursued. But whatever happened to like the biodiesel or the French fry burning cars?
Well, yeah, there's that, and then there was compressed natural gas.
Yeah, compressed natural gas. Why not?
Yeah, well, I see a few of them down around here, like buses and long drive pickups and shit.
Out of all the green shit they did to the city buses in the big city, the propane ones are the only ones still running. The electric ones are nothing but problematic, and because their diesels are still running.
Yeah. Where was it? Atlanta, I believe. All their electric buses made it to the parking, make it to the garage, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. Same thing with our electric school buses. One time, Farmington, they got a fleet of I think 9 or 8 of them, and they didn't from the factory. They didn't meet state inspection requirements.
Yeah.
And then they ran half a season, and by the end of the half a season, every one of them was in the shop. And now the company that made them is defunct, so there's no parts, there's no customer support. There's nothing.
Yeah. Funny how that works.
Yeah. We can't let our kids vape, but let's set them on top of a fucking battery pack that can burn them.
Man, and they've started all the way back around at fucking popcorn lung. Yeah.
You were saying
That
that the other
whole
night,
argument.
yeah.
Look, people, you've already been shown that it's not so.
It's not a thing, dude. But then again, I was watching a clip. Same thing. This politician was saying, you know why they don't hunt with an AR-15? Because there's nothing left of the deer. Dude, you don't know what you're talking about. You heard it. You heard this somewhere. You heard it from a movie. You heard it from a friend. Same thing with the popcorn lung. You heard this somewhere. Yes, there was a guy who had popcorn lung because he worked at the factory that made it. Come on. But they'll go to their grave with that on their lips.
As long as Bloomberg's money's there.
Well, that's it. All I can think about is that Harry Stinson kid. I'll say anything for a buck. Try me.
Yep.
Huh?
No, Cheryl, you don't get it. They got enough money. They're playing both sides of that. Anti oil and selling their wares. Who was it? I believe it was British Petroleum was behind the eco people over there throwing the soap and shit on the paintings
Yeah.
in Stonehenge. So yeah, they're doing the old whatchamacallit Rothschilds, Floyd. Bet on both sides.
Yeah.
But the only thing they had in their favor was the message coming from the battlefield at Waterloo to run it over there to Britain, say that Napoleon had lost. And it wasn't so yet.
Yeah.
But then it cleaned up on the stocks. So they had them a nice little run on the Christians there in the Congo.
Oh.
Yeah, this time is only like 51.
I don't feel bad. You went there. You knew better.
Oh,
It was not going to end well.
and people are, putting up big, gigantic memorial of all the white people that's been killed in South Africa over the last several years.
That's pretty
You know,
good.
just
Pretty good red flag for me. Just don't go there.
yeah. But this is, people their families been there 200 years and shit, farming and stuff.
Well, them people I feel bad for. But it's the
Mm,
people that go there thinking they're going to help or change things, and then they get fucked up. No, I
no,
don't feel bad for you.
no, Nelson Mandela is all I got to say. That was the end. What was it Joe said? He got arrested going down there to see Nelson Mandela.
But it's the same thing with these groups that go to North Korea. No, I think you're pretty stupid. You want to go to Iran? I think you're pretty stupid.
Yeah,
You want to
well,
go
right now,
into Mexico? Some of the seedier parts of Mexico. I think you're stupid.
it's the evangelists, man. They don't get it. Pay attention to what's in the air.
Yeah.
Because right now, China's doing the Christian purge, you know, and they have nothing to do with Islam.
Oh no. But right now, There's a Baptist church group meeting somewhere in somebody's cellar. How can we get these Bibles to China?
North Korea. Nobody paid attention to that old movie. What was it? Midnight Express.
Yep.
God, I remember when that came out.
I was. When did it come out?
I may have been in fifth or sixth grade.
I want to say the 60s, but. Hey, Google. When was the movie Midnight Express filmed?
The movie Midnight Express was filmed primarily in 1978. The events of the
78?
film were stated to have begun on October 2nd.
Wow.
October 7th.
It's a wonder I did remember it. Shit. That's when I quit school.
Oh, I was 11, 12. No, I was thinking, I was learning girls, and I was a better fisherman and a hunter by then.
He was yeah, 12.
And I was dabbling in marijuana and cigarettes, so. Yeah, no, I'm lucky I remember it.
I had to pull that from the depths of the old memory, what's left of it. That's when things started getting fuzzy.
Everything's fuzzy until I don't need to know it, and it just pops in my head right now. Everything I need to know just slips through my fingers, but if I don't need to know it, and the less relevant it is, the more I'm sure of it. It just hits
Yeah.
me. Yeah. But anyway, other than stupid shit in Jim's brain, what else is out there?
Oh, this week the arts festival starts, so we're probably due for some rain.
Yeah.
That's usually how it happens.
It's like, yeah, when our fair starts, yeah. Well, I can't say our fair because our fair's in the fall. If it's going to precipitate, it's going to be snow. So it's a lot easier to go to the fair in the snow than it is the rain.
Yep.
Yeah, our fair, the state fair, is in September, end of September.
Well, in just about 3 days, what is it? April? Yeah, just about 3 days they're going to start fair. We have a fair in every town, just about every week. I swear, there's always a fair going on somewhere in Maine.
Think it has anything to do with the maple syrup?
We already had Maine Maple Sunday, so that was a couple weeks ago. I think that was right around April 1st. That's a big to do. We got a lot of maple sugar farms up here. For now, till some liberal finds out we're hurting the trees, I can hear him scream.
We got to play good loud music for them.
Yeah, but we are technically sucking the blood of a tree and boiling it down for our pleasure.
Hey, look at all the uses.
I remember as a kid, we had to been first grade maybe, went to a sugar shack on a school field trip. And one of the kids just mindlessly, haphazardly dunked his finger into the fucking boil vat. because it looked so brown and inviting and sweet, and he just dunked his finger. Oh, what a blister!
Yeah.
You learned his lesson after that?
Oh yeah. But there was no lawsuits. There was no screaming, yelling. The kid was dumbass. They told us not to touch nothing hot. Hot things burn, baby. Don't touch. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always that one.
So yeah, it was that was I can remember that clear as day. But I did that. My dad had an industrial strength hot glue gun, and mother was after him to fix this chair she loved in the living room. And she was after him, and he kept putting it off, putting it off. So she took that glue gun, thought she was going to fix it herself, and I was going to help. And I'm holding it together, and she's gluing, and a big old glob of that glue started to drop and string down, and I reached out and grabbed it. Oh my God, my world just ended right then and there. It just hurt.
Hot glue.
Yeah, that was definitely a learning moment.
No.
I
That's
learned
kind
that.
of like breaking in a soldering iron, having to step on it.
Yep. But you learn something from that. Like I've learned, if you see something out of the corner of your eye, don't react, don't flinch, don't, because you stand a better chance of getting hurt if you react until you find out. When
Yeah.
somebody says heads up, don't look. You want to, I know, I get it. Your first instinct is, huh? But
Yeah.
don't.
That's why they taught you in Asplin, man. The first thing you got to learn is how to yell headache. Not look out.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, me and heat don't get along. I burnt myself so many different ways. I remember I was getting ready for a school dance. I was in high school, I think sophomore, junior, and we had Mom made French fried taters, and she had a pot of hot oil, and she told me to take it out in the yard and dump it on the side of the house. And I was going out the yard, and I tripped, and I fell, and that went halfway up my arm, down my hand. Oh my
Oh,
God! Luckily it was wintertime, so I shoved my hand in a snowbank. But we had
yeah.
to scrape that grease and just froze, had it on my arm. Oh,
Yeah.
I still went to the school dance. Paregoric, we dumped Paregoric on it, wrapped it up, and I drank about half a bottle of it, and that's because that's straight codeine. And I went to the school dance.
Yeah.
Nick said, imagine welding over your head.
Oh, I've done that. Oh God,
Was
I will never use welding goggles again. Always a welding mask. Nick was saying, imagine welding over your head. Yeah, I've done that.
oh shit, doing that shit underwater.
I don't know if I want to do that shit underwater because I've seen too many videos of them bigger creatures in the water with you get curious.
Yeah, like you saw all those movies about the giant shark coming up and eating
Yeah,
half
but no, I'm talking
the.
about. I watched one where this giant grouper decided he wanted to know what this diver was doing on this wreck. And
Yeah,
he would not. He was like the little brother that would from hell that wouldn't go away. What you doing? What you? And we're talking, a fish that's the size of a Volkswagen.
Just curious.
Okay, so maybe that one, maybe he won't tear you apart. But what about the guy behind him that's curious about him? What's he looking at? And he's coming in. Maybe you look good to him. No, that's just too much shit go wrong.
yeah, you gotta trust too many people when you go down and do that shit.
Yeah. My hat's off to the
Like,
guys that can do it, but
Mm-hmm. It was like that one old dude that was falling around the Humboldt squid, almost killed him.
Yeah, no,
So
I've
they
seen
cut off his
documentaries
arm
on
and shit.
them. You don't swim with those guys.
No,
They could have taught the Germans a thing or two about wolf packs.
but we didn't know that much about tiger sharks back in World War II until the Indiana.
Yep. I couldn't imagine. God almighty. Say what you want about the Navy. I just that possibility of being floating in the ocean for days and weeks and or never
Yeah,
get
but
rescued.
dude, on top of that, they had it in their mind of what they had just done, what their job was.
Yep. Yeah,
Because the
I could
last
not
thing they'd
imagine
have
that.
known was the airplane was up in the air.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine though being in there just shark food, just waiting your turn to get munched.
Hmm.
I broke down and I watched that movie Greyhound, and that kind of woke you up. I mean, them poor convoys. You're just floating along, bang, you're done. I mean, torpedo slams into the side.
Yep. Shit, what about them old boys they found from the Civil War? It had collapsed.
Oh yeah.
That, I couldn't imagine.
No. And then some of the early of the German ones, they hardly made it 100 miles before the battery acid fumes killed them.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they couldn't surface frequently to ventilate, they would die, and they quite frequently did, I guess. I don't know about that submarine shit. I'd like to go down in one, but I don't know if I want to be under there 6 months. You know,
Yeah. Mm.
at least in my tank, I
But
got to get out a lot.
yeah, you stretch your legs.
Yeah, you know, if I break down, a wrecker comes gets me. I don't have to wait a week for a recovery vessel and hope that the enemy don't find me first. Although I guess them subs don't break down very often.
Not anymore.
No.
But damn, what was it? They docked 17 ships
Yeah,
because they didn't have enough people to man them.
that's pretty bad. Well, maybe we'll get them numbers up now that we're back to a manly Navy. It was bad enough because the Navy got a bad rap anyway. I mean, you got to pick on a guy that goes to sail with 1,000 other guys and not another chick in sight.
Yeah.
But we
Well,
all
they
we
tried
all
to
knew the
change that.
score. I mean, we knew, but it was
Hmm.
fun. It was the rivalry between branches.
Yeah. Well, that's always been the case. The sailors and the Marines.
But we all agree
That's
the Air
their
Force
thing.
was spoiled.
Yeah. You don't get in the way of it. Let them two do it. That's theirs.
Yep.
And the Air Force, they just stand back and watch.
Oh, where do I plug in my PlayStation? Well, back then it was Atari, but you get the gist.
Sad but true, man.
But it was cool, I have to admit, because I mainly worked at S3. I drove whatever the major had to go in that day, I drove. So if he was in the Jeep, I drove the Jeep. If he was in the tank, I drove the tank. If he needed a truck, I drove the truck. So,
Yeah.
where the fuck was I going with this story?
But some are cool.
I forgot what we was talking about. Right in my bed.
I've lost it myself.
Had
Oh,
something to do with me
what?
driving for the major. But anyway, Wow, I can't think of it for the life of me, JT. Okay, I guess that needs to go away.
He was talking about Midnight Express.
No, that was a while ago.
Oh, did you hear Dick Durbin ain't running again?
Well,
No, he's retiring.
probably should.
Well, let me count the ways.
To be honest with you, I wouldn't mind if they just had a complete overhaul, just turned everything over. Is that
Yeah,
you or is that out there?
Out there.
Holy shit. I don't know if you guys
but
can
they're
hear that.
playing. They got the ones that were left behind by plugs just for causing problems.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, well, there's a few good ones out there, but I'm willing to sacrifice them. You can have your Marjorie. Just bring back, vote an honest representation of your district, please. Don't just vote on heart. Don't vote on words. Don't vote on promises.
That means the people will have to do their homework.
Sorry. All right, that plan goes to hell.
Yeah, hate when that happens.
That's bugging me. I had a story to tell, and I don't have a story to tell no more.
I tried to listen to it, but it didn't.
Oh, so the European Union wants to swap red meat for lab-grown Franken meat to fight climate change.
No. It's that simple. No.
Exactly.
No.
But
If
are
you
they?
want your Franken meat, eat it. By all means, knock yourself out.
They're probably already doing
Yep.
I'm not. No,
Well,
they're not going to slip it in on us because it's too expensive right now. And we would really
once,
know. I'm sorry. Any honest meat eater is going to know.
well, but hell, they tried it with the grass.
I would watch you try it.
Nope.
Now, I don't know if I'd
No,
let you try it. Dylan. Let's get Dylan.
he'll do it. He'll eat anything.
I heard him once say he liked uh, a veggie burger once.
Yeah, but dude, this is the guy that goes to Nathan's hot dogs
And gets a
and gets
hamburger.
a hamburger.
Yeah, all right.
We used to go to the big place.
Hate it when you make sense. I might tell Tammy. You know what your husband's been doing? He's been making sense while you're gone.
Has he? Wow. So have we figured out what they're going to do with the candy now that all the petroleum products are supposed to be out by 2026?
Maybe we'll have real candy. I mean, I watched Little House on the Prairie, and they had candy back then.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm just saying it can be dude.
exactly. And maybe they'll bring back the candy cigarettes.
I don't know why they shouldn't. Every kid had one. Rolled them up in your sleeve because you were cool, like Fonzie.
You
They don't
know,
like to advertise that, but Fonzie was in a few episodes with a pack of cigarettes in his sleeve.
Yeah.
yeah. And I knew a bunch of guys that tried that and told their parents, look, I'm not smoking them. I'm just wearing it to look cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that didn't go over real well.
But the one who made it famous was the redhead bit. Oh, Valerie Bertinelli played the daughter. God, she was gorgeous. Oh,
One day at a time.
one day at a time. Schneider, the guy that he was the super of the building. He
Yeah.
made it famous. Always had that jean vest on, white T-shirt, and cigarettes.
Yeah.
That porn stash.
Pat something or other.
Yeah.
Let's see, back then when I was going to school, we had 50s Day.
Yeah, we had a 50s day.
Poodle skirt,
Yeah, the poodle skirts and the wingtips and
saddle shoes.
BA, man. And there's always one jackass wanted to be cool and bring in there.
oh wow, you know what? We ain't been on our fancy screen.
Oh, we have it.
No, we haven't. Gosh darn it. Okay, so maybe smoking joke is out of. We're not going to do a regular smoking joke because Jim gets stupid.
Trump's going to hold a massive rally in Michigan on Tuesday to celebrate his first 100 days in office.
Cool. 100 days. That's not 4 months yet.
Yeah.
Why hasn't he done more?
Well, they kind of shot themselves in the foot on that one because he's already had more video time being transparent to the American people than Joe did in 4 years.
Yeah. Nick, this is a warning show. This is a don't do as we do show. I'm just showing you the evils of that devil's lettuce. Makes you stupid.
We're trying to figure out how far he can go with it.
I've been pretty far.
Well, I haven't seen any great things happening in the news.
Oh, I mean, I guess that's good, though. No news is good news. Let's go with that.
And they say the Democrats have already started coming back home from El Salvador. I don't think they got that guy out.
No.
They were going to stay down there until he got out.
Good. They can have them.
And they gotta use their own money.
No, they can have them. At some point, they're going to be illegals themselves, and then they're going to see what it's like.
Yeah. Well, there was that one judge, where was it, in Arizona? They busted one of them out there in his house.
Cool.
But he did the right thing. He stepped down.
Oh, the right thing would have been to be honest in the beginning. You're a judge, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah. That Constitution thing, you take the oath to uphold the law. And
I was 17, barely out of high school. I was still in high school when I took my first oath. And I don't know how anybody can take that lightly.
they're not taught about them anymore. It's gone away,
Well, that is true because I can remember history class and I can remember civics class and I can remember having to learn how the world really worked. It wasn't sugar coated. It was, yes, we beat black people to death, but we don't do it now. That was history,
Yeah.
They didn't sugarcoat it. You're going to learn cursive, but I don't like to, but you're going to do it. you're gonna learn how to write correctly. You're gonna, we had penmanship. That fucking woman would come in once a week with that four-sided rubber stamp. You got a 1, 2, 3, or 4, and I always got 3s and 4s because I couldn't write for shit. But yeah, I can remember agonizing over cursive. But now it's going to work in our favor because we'll just start communicating in script, and it's like secret code to them. They wouldn't be able to break it.
Yep. Well, actually, you're starting to hear teachers come up and talk about teaching kids how to write again.
Oh my goodness.
But now, how does that equate to learning how to sign your name?
It's a good question.
Because in life you have to sign documents.
No, I'm sorry, you're not a QR code.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, eventually, I think that's what they're pushing. We're going to be barcodes and QR codes.
Yeah, I don't plan on being part of that one.
No, me either, because there's just too much they can do. It's like a soldier wearing dog tags. It's cool. It's a great idea. I would love to have a barcode or a QR code that a first responder could just scan and know my medical history. But it's not going to stop there. There's just too much they can do with that information.
Hmm.
There's too much they can do if they can hack my system. It's just endless. They could get into everything about your life. Now.
Yeah. But you got to remember, back when we were born, they were still taking blood samples.
Yep.
Got your DNA.
I'm sure the Army took enough of that. I remember all too basic. We had that blood test all too basic because that was back when AIDS was first really impacting shit back in the early 80s.
Oh, shit.
And I guess it was a big scare. They just didn't want it to run rampant through the barracks. Because that was still everybody, well, you get it from sweat. You can get it from shaking a guy's hand. Oh my God, you looked at him wrong. You got AIDS. No, I mean, it was just so much misinformation back then.
Yeah, but it was easier for them to pass it around.
Yeah.
Then come to find out it was manufactured in probably the same petri dish that the coof was.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in most of mankind's misery has been self-inflicted.
Yep. Stupidity and greed.
Oh my.
I thought Fauci got AIDS going.
Huh?
I thought Fauci got AIDS going.
He did.
Well, Nick just said they still have no idea where it came from.
Tells you that's why. That's how you know they're lying. Because they know where it came from.
Oh, what about old Britain's decided that they're going to go ahead and spray shit in the air and block the sun?
Nice.
To what end?
I don't know. I have to ask Bill Gates. It's been his wild dream for 10 years or better.
Last I knew, sunlight was a requirement for life on Earth.
Now there you go. Let's start that conspiracy shit again.
Oh, I read it somewhere. It has to be true.
Well, if it was on the interwebs. Well, why would you think that? To what end?
Sorry.
Because if you, yeah, you're going to do a little run and put a dark spot on the ground for a second. What are you trying to prove? You're not causing the temperature to drop any.
Yeah. But you can't cause the temperature to drop at the expense of natural sunlight. Again, necessary for life comes to mind.
It's a privilege, though. That's why they tell everybody to run inside.
And besides, didn't The Simpsons do something like that?
Nathan.
Sounds familiar.
Hi, Nathan.
Nathan, how you doing, sir?
So,
Even
invisible.
No, Nathan, I'm too
transvisibility
fat to
mouth.
get on the ground and look under my truck.
How
So
come?
my tranny stays hidden. No,
Oh,
Nathan
there's
said
not.
this show is a proud supporter of Trans Visibility Month. And I says, no, I can't get on the ground to see my transmission.
I don't have to agree with him.
And I only put in non-gender go fluid.
And that works the best.
Not really.
So I was reading that they found some women with a flesh-eating necrosis popping up in their vaginas.
Does that have anything to do with that drug, yeah, that they changed the side effects on?
No, actually, it was somebody was saying it's a new STD.
Uh-oh. Because you watch that commercial, it's not Ozempic, it's the other one, Jardian.
Yeah.
And you listen to the side effects. And they've taken away anal leakage and they put in a life-threatening bacterial infection between the genitals and anus.
Where else would you want one? Advertising.
That looks good, Nick. Actually, no, that's just fruit and egg white omelet. That's no fun.
What's that?
Nick just sent me a picture of strawberries and it looks like an egg white omelet.
Uh, is he turning tranny on us?
He's probably one of them people that think that he should eat healthy.
Oh,
So he
yeah,
doesn't look
that
like me when he's
happens.
58. Yeah. Shit,
That'll
I'm
learn
almost
him.
59. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll be 59 soon.
next month.
Shit, keep it up. You're going to be as old as me.
Never.
I haven't seen any good liberals going off
No, they've been
videos.
quiet lately, and it's kind of unnerving.
Yeah, 'cause they're
You
up
know,
to
but I
something.
was getting videos on YouTube for what was it? The Yeah, that thing. The Ark of the Covenant.
Oh, I haven't been seeing that. They think
Oh
they
yeah.
find it
Well, I don't
again?
know how many people's found it, dude.
Oh, that's catfish. Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like an egg white omelet from the picture I saw. I have to admit, I don't like fish, but catfish is doable. Trout's doable.
Yeah,
Never ate had that before.
with some hush puppies.
Now, anytime I've ever had trout or catfish has been camping or right on the stream, you know.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Fresh.
Oh, you know what? Maybe if I took it off top chat, I might see the whole conversations.
Oh,
I hate that choice. Look at that. I think my phone just
I can
binged
see
again.
everybody.
Yes, it did.
Catfish. Wow. Yeah, that's a good piece of catfish. We catch maybe a foot long, 18 inches. We call them hornpout.
Yeah, but you ever pay attention though? Them catfish, they have a tendency to grow depending on who caught the fish.
Well, that's true. But we don't get like those big channel cats and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, your little kid caught one and it's going to grow at least 15 pounds by the time it gets somewhere. First storytelling.
And I know you don't put one in a fish tank.
No, they eat
Oh
that.
my God! Cause back in my fishing days, I used to trap shiners in my pond out back, and it's full of catfish too. So I was always catching little baby catfish. Well, one day I said, "Ah, fuck it," I just grabbed one and threw it in my fish tank. That fucker did not like captivity. He destroyed everything. No matter how much you set it up for him, no matter what you tried to do to please him, he was not happy.
He ate the other fish.
And he ate the other fish. So
Yeah.
so he ended up going back in the pond.
And the eels. Oh God.
I couldn't keep the tank cold enough to keep trout, so I didn't try trout.
I'd like to have a nice rainbow.
Damn, that sounds good. If he's not gonna bread it and fry it, he's cooked it right. Lemon juice, pepper, salt, garlic. Mm.
Oh, that does sound good.
Up here it's pickerel. Everybody likes pickerel, but nobody likes pickerel.
Yeah.
So bony, and if you don't catch it at the right time of season, it's wormy. And
What was that one that I caught and then got in the boat?
chub maybe.
I don't know. I wondered if that was.
No, strange as it was, my Jewish friend convinced me that pickled herring was good.
Ew.
I had to agree with him.
I've had it. But it's still fish. So,
Yeah,
but anything pickled.
but it's not. There was more like a we'd use for like sweet pickles,
Yeah,
pickling.
but it's still pickled. It's still got that preservation method, that acid that cured.
Dried
Yep.
codfish. Oh,
And I gotta admit, I did enjoy the dried codfish. My father-in-law, rest his soul, used to always have a cod hanging in the garage. I've had alligator twice. I had it in nugget form and I had it canned. I can't say I cared for it. It tastes like reptile.
Yeah, Well, you got to know what you're doing to do that. It turned out so fucking rubbery.
Well, the nugget I had was good. I mean, it was tender. It was like I've tried frog legs. It was kind of yeah. It was like a chicken nugget, but it was just that reptile taste. I just can't do it.
Don't like the lizard.
Well, I have an aversion to fish. I just don't like fish, and it's just too
Mm.
close to a fish. You know, it comes from the water. I don't want to eat it.
So you're saying you ain't gonna go for the barbecued rattlesnake?
I've had rattlesnake. I'd much rather eat the rattlesnake than I would the alligator. But it still has that off. It's not real red meat. You know, it's I can't explain it. There's a taste to it that's not rodent. I like mammals. I like fur bearing critters. You know.
Oh, there's a slacker. Damn it, Dylan. Next time you will be at the head of the class.
I thought you
Waiting.
were going live, Dylan. Get tired of waiting on you. But yeah, but I like I said, I've had rattlesnake and I could eat it to survive. You know, I would have
Yeah.
no problem doing that. I don't know about
Shit,
lizard. I haven't tried like iguana or something like that. I haven't tried that yet.
I hadn't heard nothing like that.
I know they eat it.
Yeah, no, I like smoked salmon lox.
I can eat smoked salmon if I have to. I just tell myself it's beef jerky,
It's gross.
badly made beef
Yeah,
jerky. But like I said, I
right.
just don't. I prefer not to.
You get the right cream cheese to go with it. So maybe a little onion.
The one thing that
And,
really tastes good, really looks good, and I can't bring myself to eat it is smoked eel.
Oh,
Oh, the
no,
seasonings, the oh.
no, uh-uh.
There's a guy in New Hampshire. He's one of the top five most expensive smoked eel in the world. Everything's done by hand. He makes an eel trap all by rocks, all by hand, just him and his dog.
Yeah,
His smokehouse looked like somebody's old outhouse repurposed.
makes sense to me.
Yeah, but his I guess his product is sought off all around the world.
That's okay. And I ain't gonna eat that cheese with them fucking maggots in it.
No, oh my
no,
God, I
that's
yeah.
gross.
No.
And they
Or
do it with
civet
such a
coffee.
smile on their face. They're so proud of it. It's maggoty cheese. I can make
Dude,
that
it's
any day of the
civet cat,
week.
civet cat coffee.
No, no, you had to be
No,
really, really desperate for a cup of coffee to go. Let's just rinse the shit off this and drink it.
it's Labrador.
Yeah, I'm not gonna smoke Labrador in my Maui either. Followed the little fucker around with a baggie for a week. Blew the fucker's
I
mind.
just want to know what was the dude doing that come up with the idea to follow that cat?
Oh, fried tarantula. Oh,
Oh.
fried frog legs.
Fried tarantula. I watched them videos of them people mowing on them. No.
No,
They're just some things you don't eat, even fried.
The deep fried scorpions and shit. Get them on the stick.
No, see, the
I got
scorpion
no.
doesn't make sense either because they still got that gushy center. No, I'm done. I'm out. No.
But how many tequila worms did you swallow?
two.
No, you couldn't swallow them. You had to chew them. I don't know what group
Okay.
you drank with, but you had, yeah, if you had a
No,
bottle of mezcal, you had to chew it and
to
show it.
Where all the alcohol was.
No, not really. It just was something you did because you were stupid. You were drunk by the time you got to it because you couldn't upend the bottle and let it come to you. You had to drink to it.
yeah.
Hey, Marcus.
Yeah, but you ought to see what else he does with those tarantulas there, Marcus.
That and you watch them jungle people eat them coconut grubs and the big caterpillars and shit that they dig out of rotten lawn. No.
No, no.
Oh no, just bite the head off and suck the guts out. No! No, that's a song we used
Stick
to
your
sing.
stick down there and get you some of them termites.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm not good with that.
Fiery ants
I worked with a guy from Africa. He was over here, you know, one of them transplants, but he ate honeybees.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, Dylan, you won't like it, and I'll probably get sick. How you doing, Marcus?
No, I don't eat insects. You're right, Nathan. No, it's just some things you're not supposed to eat.
You know, I had the traumatic experience of a guy in the apartment complex we lived in on the base. He'd just grab a big old one, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy, you remember that show back in the 70s, I think it was? Real People. Sarah Purcell and Skip Stevenson. They had a guy that had his teeth sharpened to points because all he ate was medical grade cockroaches. Live. He would sit down to dinner with his wife. His wife's got a plate, steak, taters, and all that. And he opens up this Tupperware thing of live cockroaches. And he had his teeth medically transformed so he could chew into them.
Yeah.
That's haunted me ever since I saw that.
But I saw the dude try to eat the bicycle.
Yes, I remember him.
Dude, why?
Yeah, why?
Why?
Oh, my God.
But, hey, Chuck, how's that shower?
Yeah, that's the only way you get him in to clean himself up is not on a Saturday night. Finish the shower on Wednesday.
Well, usually we take a bath in springtime. You get pretty gamey at the end of winter.
Yeah. It was a pretty rough winter this year. Didn't get so cold, you know.
Well, it looks like we've gone well over an hour. You want to keep going or go join the cool kids?
Let's go play with the cool kids.
Let's go play with the cool kids then. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for everybody for jumping in.
Everybody.
Marcus and Nathan, join us in Zoom over in Chuck's room.
Yeah.
Everybody else there,
Let's play
always
Chuck's
there.
room, man.
I enjoy
Maybe
seeing
we'll get a
everybody.
tour of Chuck's shower.
Oh, they're still working on it.
Oh, they're still working on it. That sucks, man.
Maybe tomorrow.
Just take your clothes off. Stand there with a scrub brush and a bar of soap. They'll get the hint. All right, guys. We'll see you over in the other room. I'm sure I got to go pee and go set my ass in my easy chair. So, with that said, God bless. Say a prayer for America.
Stay classy, people.